Yo, this your boy Pomatic, and today we're gonna talk about soulless beings and OPs, or organic portals. And this is just a recap of the one I did last night, but today we're gonna go biblical with it. We're gonna talk about Cain and Abel. But first let me explain something what a soulless being is. It's not like a monster or something that's crazy. It's just a person that's in his feelings stages of life, coming from, you got the first kingdom, which is instinct, the plants and stuff, the second kingdom, which is feelings, and the third kingdom, which is conscious, the thinking. Now, a soulless being is a person that's trying to come from the second kingdom to the third kingdom. So it's feelings, animal, to the third. And a lot of what you see is the body is a bridge. I mean, it's his first time experiencing this human shit. So it's not like it's a monster, but it's just a animal going into a human state, but it don't know the thinking process and the wisdom process quite naturally, or quite, ready to process that. What makes it a demon is when Orion, the snakes, the lizards, or like they spoke about the snake in the garden, come in and interfere with that bridge from animal to human conscious thinking. And it's called an OP, organic portal. So what they do is they come right in under your natural experience of reincarnation and evolution and put a block right there. So they keep you as a two-dimensional being in a three-dimensional body. And then they uphold you to the world. So by saying that, I'm just giving you a recap that the fucked up part of the soulless being is when it's an OP, organic portal. When Orion used it to drain from Adam, the life, the light, the life force. And Orion used it to uphold everything. But today we're going to read from the book of Eli. We're going to read Cain. And Cain is going to give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You got Adam and you got Eve. And Adam represent the man that's standing at the bridge, a closer gateway to God, because he was connected to God. And then you got Eve. Eve represents the feeling. So what Eve was doing was the bridge that crossed man over from the second dimension to the third dimension. And what happened was Eve got lost through the snake in the garden trying to cross the bridge into the snake, and what they did was put a block on the wall. So when Eve sees cross that bridge, they never see Adam. They never make it to Adam because there's a block, organic portal. And that's what happened with Adam and Eve. They created the block so she couldn't bring. They fucked up the bridge between second dimension and third dimension, which was Eve. And they put their own genetic code and seed in there. So when they did finally mate and have seeds, they had Cain and Abel. And like we say, no, Cain killed Abel. And Abel was a soulful being, and Cain was a soulless being that got locked in a shell or the body bridge and couldn't get out. So he was a second dimensional character locked in a three-dimensional body, but never got out of the character mind frame. So he killed Abel. And by saying him killing Abel was something like the baby and his brother. What we don't know is the baby and his brother was Abel. His brother was the God body. His brother was that. And what happened was they didn't accept, baby got mad because God didn't accept his offer. But in this world, this how it looked. So the brother looked at Cain on. And what happened? Cain killed Abel. So the brother Abel, Cain is the baby, the soulless artificial being with the OP, organic portal. And due to the nature of that, his brother killed himself. So when you look at the baby and his brother, Cain killed Abel. Abel knew he was way colder than him. Abel knew that he was on bullshit. Abel knew taught him how to be him. But when they didn't put Abel on and put his brother on, Abel looking like, what the fuck? And so in this time, Abel killed himself. But it's still the same aspect of Cain killed Abel. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to read from the book of Eli, to give you a better example of what I'm saying. But before I start to read, like I said, you got Adam and Eve. Eve is the gateway from the second dimension to the third dimension. And then you got Adam is a fast forward first to get close to God. So if Eve make it to Adam and they both ignite, she become a conscious being by being the bridge of the second dimension, or the queen of the gateway of the second dimension to the third, if she become a conscious being and they have kids, they're going to have nothing but Abels, and you're going to have the city of light. So you got to think in retrospect. We're going to go back to KRS-One, EPMD, Black Power, Fred Hampton, Black Panther, and stuff like Wu-Tang. Now, that's Eve starting to become having a conscience. And what they did was blocked it by putting this bullshit ass rap right there, blocked it with a bridge. So now Eve can't make it to Adam. And then what happened was Adam started saying, okay, Eve, I'm going to start getting down with what you trying to say. So that's the God body in man saying, I'm trying to get out here, but you know what? I'm going to put the skinny jeans on. I'm going to put the chain on. I'm going to stack the money. I'm going to be like Cain. I'm going to be like a soulless being. And that's what Adam did. He started mimicking a second dimensional being, even though he was a third dimensional high king. And what you got, the fall of man. So what happened was God came to the garden. He said, Adam, what the fuck? What happened? They said, what happened? He said, oh man, it's the woman. Like, nigga, I told you don't listen to her, nigga. That's like a dog. That's like a second dimensional carrier to get the motherfucking animal kingdom over to the three-dimensional kingdom. How you gonna go backwards in time? I got you in 3D, three-dimensional king, meaning you supreme conscious in thinking. But you telling me you gonna put that down to listen to Eve because somebody told her something slick, which was the snake, which was Orion, which was the portal that create the soulless being. So now you got a soulless being that's innocent. It's just a person coming from second dimension to third dimension, and there's a bridge, which is the body. But the problem with the demon come in is when Orion interfere and make it an OP, which is organic portal. So I'm gonna read. From Cain. Cain, more properly known as Canaan, possession, acquisition, centralization, draws to itself, to its own center, selfish, sharp cutting, a lance. Now what I was telling you about the OPs, they drain from you, they draw energy from you. So we're gonna keep going. Among some of the ancient authorities, Cain represents the genius of evil. That which Cain symbolizes is not bad at all. However, since all its ideas, rulerships are derived from the centralization of power, which is a good thing, the benevolent or the malevolent aspects of the name Cain are determined from that upon which the centering is directed. Adam and Eve's eldest son, who killed his brother Abel. And metaphysically, spiritually, what we're trying to say is Cain means possession, acquisition, centralization, that which draws itself selfishness. Cain refers directly to the part of the human conscience which strives to acquire in possessions, materialism, like they say last night. They have a kingly power to acquire things. He was a tiller of the soil, which places him in earthly domains. In Hindu metaphysics, he would be called the physical body. Paul would call him the flesh. The killing by the body's selfishness of all human sympathy and love is represented by Cain's slaying of Abel. When the body demands possession of all the resources of mind and soul, which is all the five senses, and reduced to existence to a mere material living, is slaying Abel, and his blood, or life, continually cries from the earthly consciousness to the Lord for expression. So what they're saying is, like, you sitting here and you listen to this bullshit that's rapping, you like, man, I can do better than that. You know, man, Joe, I wanted the God. No, we don't want to hear none of that. We don't want to hear none of that. So that's Abel crying for an expression. When the selfishness of the body has killed the final impulses of the soul and has reduced to material existence all the higher aspirations, there is no longer pleasure in living. Without the soul, the body is a machine with a little sensation and no progress. Cain does till the ground, but it yields him no strength. Cain tilled the ground, but it yields him no strength. Pooh Shiesty did all that work and it yields him no strength. He get locked up. The body feels its degradation, and those who get into the degradation condition are usually miserable. Cain's punishment is great, and he fears the vengeance of the other faculties, which condemn the body for its impotency. But the Lord, our divine law, has fixed a limit to this, and we are warned not to destroy the body, no matter how great its sin. The sign that was appointed for Cain to keep him from being slain in the consciousness of the divine origin. No matter how deep the transgression, the body may be, it still bears the stamp of God and should never be killed. So that's when we read in Gematria, you still see a lot of us still got Abel blood in us. So that's just recap before I do the show tonight called Organic Portals and Soulless Beings Part 2. And I'm out.